morning, everyone. And welcome to Copenhagen for the first of several presentations for automotive, transportation, and manufacturing. Most of the industry presentations that you're going to see over the next few days are from Unity customers and Unity partners, and that's how it should be. It's less of us and it's more of you. We provide the platform, but you're the ones who make the magic happen with Unity. We're looking forward to seeing you, some of the amazing examples of things that you're doing, and several of our customers and partners, and more informally, we'd like to talk to you during breaks in the exhibit area. All of us are going to be out there in the exhibit area at one time or another, and maybe over a beer or something. So we're really looking forward to connecting with you here. Before we begin today's presentation, we'd like to just take a minute and introduce ourselves. So I'm Ed Martin. I'm the market-facing product manager for automotive, transportation, and manufacturing here at Unity. My career, which is longer than, frankly, than I want to admit, includes decades of experience working in the automotive industry in different engineering and management roles, and more than a decade in the technology industry. My job here at Unity is to set the direction for where we're investing for products and services, and to work across the organization to make sure that we're delivering on what we're committing to you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Oliver. I'm a technical product manager at Unity, and I'm collecting the detailed requirements for our industrial solutions for you to feed into our R&D development teams. And I have a long passion on real-time 3D, and before joining Unity, I was working at Volkswagen on topics like automatic CAD pipelines, high-end rendering, and simulation topics.
Yep. So Oliver and I work together, and essentially, if you talk to one of us, you're connected to both of us. But really, this event isn't about us. It's about you. Unity's customers and partners are a diverse group, which is one of the greatest strengths of Unity, honestly. If you have a problem that needs solving, chances are that someone else is already working on it and perhaps has the solution already in hand. We both talk regularly with customers, and we understand that the needs of a large multinational manufacturer are different from those of a creative agency or a research institute. And that's why we're developing new products and services, or as we develop them, we're always asking ourselves, how will it benefit you, and are we delivering a business model that works for you? So as you can imagine, with this diverse set of customers, we really need to consider the needs of the entire group. So, we may not always get it perfectly right at first, but we listen to your input, and we adjust, and we adapt, and we're committed to delivering the solutions that you need. So before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we're going to present this morning. We've divided this presentation into 4 sections. First, we're going to look back at what we've done since the last time we were on stage at Unite in Berlin, about 15 months ago or so. Then we're going to update you on things that we're launching now, so the stuff that either has been very recently launched or is coming within the next few weeks. Then we're going to talk about things that are in development and planned for availability over the next few months. And then finally, we're going to talk briefly about our vision for the future. And the 5th thing is at the very end of the presentation, if we have time, which I think we will, we'll take some questions from all of you. And we've got 2 microphones in the audience that will give you an opportunity to ask questions. So as we're going through this, if you think of questions, jot them down, make a note, and hopefully we'll have time at the end to take a few questions. So let's start with the recap. The last time we met at Unite in Berlin, it was June of 2018, and we outlined some of the major themes that we were focused on. Those themes have remained the same, and we've largely maintained the same product strategy. But we have changed one thing. We've expanded our focus from automotive to include the entire range of manufactured products, including trains, planes, medical equipment, industrial equipment, durable consumer goods like bicycles or washing machines. So essentially any manufactured product fits within the scope of automotive transportation and manufacturing. And the reason for this is very simple. When we started talking with more customers, we recognized that the needs of those customers in durable consumer goods or industrial equipment mirrored very closely the needs of the automotive industry. Sure, there are some differences, but fundamentally the capabilities we're providing from Unity as a platform are the same. With this expanded focus, we've made a few adjustments, and we'll talk about later on in our strategy what we're doing, and you're going to see some presentations here this week that actually also represent that expanded focus. The other thing that we've done a lot is listen. We both talk with customers and partners regularly, but we also tap into the large network of solutions engineers, evangelists, developers, professional services experts, business development people, and others within Unity who you meet with regularly. So we have this, we've really grown the team quite a bit over the last year, and with this expanded network, we've been able to develop a much more close customer relationship with all of you. And we listen to what you're saying, we collect the feedback, we gather and edit it into themes, and that informs the products and services that we deliver. And that's actually one of the greatest values of meeting with you here at Unite this week, is it's an opportunity to talk really closely one-on-one. So we're going to have probably hundreds, perhaps 1,000 conversations by the time everything is done with all of the people here from the industry team who are meeting with you this week. And if you feel like you need something that we're not delivering, then find us after the presentation today, find us in the hall or at the exhibit, or reach out to us via email. We want to hear from you. So our emails are right here. It's edwardm@unity3d.com and oliver.s@unity3d.com. We're very interested in hearing from you. Here are a few of the things that we've heard from you. And these may not be exactly the same words when that you used when you were talking to us. We kind of consolidated some of your feedback into some overall themes. But the ideas are definitely consistent with what many of you have told us. Of course, we couldn't fit everything onto this slide. I wanted you to be able to read it. But some of these ideas are consistent themes that we've heard from you. And this is something that has really informed our product development strategy. We have a very clear and consistent strategy for how we're delivering on these things. So first, we start with the core, which is Unity Pro. We're not fragmenting our product offerings. We're not creating a different product. In many cases, what we're doing is we're taking this input from you and what we're listening to from you, we're driving those requirements back into the core. Some of what we do goes straight into Unity Pro or goes into core Unity services that we're delivering. So for example, a lot of the enhancements that we're making on the graphics front, things that we're doing to address the needs of automotive, transportation, manufacturing customers end up serving the needs of all customers. Then there are other things that are really more industry focused. So things like bringing in BIM data or CAD data, having a data transformation pipeline, specific formats or materials, scanned materials and things of that nature that are really unique to industry needs, then we're delivering as vertical products and services. So you still have the same core Unity Pro, the same core Unity services, and what we're doing is we're wrapping a layer of industry-focused products and services around that. And we think that that really is the best way for us to address your needs, because after all, we want to keep one common code base. It serves the entire Unity community, and the strength and the unity of that community is really what's important. The other thing that we're doing is making it very clear what the maturity is for new features as we're developing them. For those of you who want rock-solid code that is ready to use in production and it's going to have a stable API and you know it's consistent over time, that's what we have verified. So we've got rigorous processes to provide quality assurance, documentation, and if you're using verified code, it's going to be stable over time. Some of you are more interested in adopting features sooner. And in that case, we have preview technologies. With preview, it generally works. It works well. However, it may change over time because we're still gathering input from you in the preview phase. And we listen to that input. We make adjustments. And so if you have a project on preview and you come back another dot release later, you may find that a few things have changed. You may have to make some adjustments to your project. And then generally, preview technologies find their way into verified status. And then you may be interested in something a little bit more advanced. And in that case, really that's where you want to jump into experimental. Experimental features are just that. They may or may not make it into the final product. They may just stay experimental. But regardless, what we're doing is we're communicating to you exactly what the status is, you know what to expect, and you can jump in at the point that is right for your project. And I think that just making it clear and transparent is the best thing that we can possibly do. So a few minutes ago, I mentioned that we outlined 5 focus areas at Unite Berlin. These have remained largely the same. For 3 of the 5 areas, in fact, nothing has changed except that we've begun delivering new capabilities to address your needs for those areas. And then there are 2 areas where we've updated our focus. So the areas where we're largely the same are design experience, training, guidance, and sales and marketing. And again, we've done lots of work on product and services to address your needs in those areas, but our fundamental strategy hasn't changed. For HMI, there is one thing that has changed. We're expanding our focus beyond just HMI development and prototyping, which we talked about last year, to include production deployment of HMI systems. It's been an area of huge interest for many of you, and literally everyone from silicon vendors to tier 1 suppliers to OEMs have expressed deep interest in this field, and therefore we're focused on delivering production capabilities for you in HMI as well. And then for simulation, we're broadening our focus to include other types of simulation, going beyond autonomous vehicles to include robotics and other types of simulation of automation systems. Those of you who were at the keynote last night heard Danny Lang talk about the application of simulation to robotics and the uncaged robots. And so that's exactly the focus. This idea of simulation and being able to simulate virtual worlds for autonomous systems goes well beyond automotive. And we want to make sure that we're addressing your needs in that area. This idea of simulation is also starting to merge into the topic of digital twins, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in this presentation, and also is the subject of another speech here, another presentation here at Unite. The one thing that I want to say is that there's also a presentation by Kevin Sato from Unity Thursday at 10 a.m., I believe, on the broader topic of simulation. And while we're not going to be covering simulation in great depth in this presentation, if you're interested in the topic of simulation, I would definitely encourage you to see Kevin's presentation on Thursday morning at 10. Okay, enough about our focus areas though. Let's talk about some of the things that we've delivered in the last year. In case you didn't notice, we probably did, we worked with BMW, Light & Shadows, and Nvidia earlier this year to deliver the first public demonstration of ray tracing in Unity. This demo really woke people up to the potential to produce hyper-realistic visual quality in Unity, and we're continuing to mature our ray tracing solution to move it from experimental into the preview stage. Beyond ray tracing, though, we've delivered on a lot more to address your needs for visual quality. We released the free Measured Materials library, which, by the way, is now available on GitHub, not just for HDRP, but also now for the Universal Render Pipeline. This is new, and this is an example of our commitment to support great visuals on any platform. So regardless of whether you're running on the Universal Render Pipeline or the HD Render Pipeline, you're able to go take these measured materials. We also introduced the shader graph in the core Unity Pro product, with new post-processing capabilities and more. And of course, the Measured Materials library is built on the shader graph, so you can take those materials and you can adjust them yourself to meet your specific needs. And as you saw in the keynote last night again, shader graph is incredibly powerful. All of these are targeted to make it easier for you to produce great-looking visuals in Unity and to make that process as simple as possible. We've also introduced floating licenses for closed networks. This has been a major request from customers, and we now have several customers using Unity's new floating license closed network system. This is a great way for you to provide access to developers within your company, and it's especially economically attractive if you've got people who are only using Unity part-time, or you've got people in multiple parts of the world, multiple locations, who might use Unity at different times of the day. And most importantly is it just provides a way for people to get access to Unity that's like they may be interested in it, but they can't justify a copy of Unity for themselves. They may want to experiment with it. Now you can extend access to them. And we're providing controls for IT organizations so that you can manage that access and manage who has control, who has access to Unity, and you can manage what version of Unity that they're using. So we think this is a really powerful capability, and we're super excited about being able to finally deliver this to you. By the way, we're going to be supporting this for open networks as well. That's coming fairly soon. Another thing that we've done is to partner and collaborate with other companies to deliver the capabilities you need. After all, developing and maintaining a strong community is at the core of our values at Unity, and these partnerships and collaborations serve to strengthen the community. I'll list a few public examples in alphabetical order. And then I'm also going to be giving another example a little bit later on in the presentation of how we're working with Google on a new technology as well that isn't listed here. Beyond these, we're working on others behind the scenes, which we hope to publicize as well. So the first collaboration that we've done is with Atos. Atos is a major Europe-based technology services firm with more than 12 billion euro in annual turnover. We turned to Atos for a collaboration that delivered a Teamcenter connector for Unity. We've spoken with many of you, and we've heard loud and clear that you want a more seamless way to connect Unity to Teamcenter. The solution delivered by Atos is very powerful, and the Atos consultants have the skills to be able to configure this Teamcenter connector to each of your individual implementations of Teamcenter, because Teamcenter is like snowflakes. No two Teamcenter implementations are exactly the same, because no two companies are exactly the same. And Winfried from Atos is going to be giving a presentation at 3 p.m. today on the schedule. So if you're interested in learning more about the Teamcenter connector for Unity, I would encourage you to attend the Atos presentation. He's going to be presenting together with Pixee's, and have an opportunity to chat with him afterward. We're really excited about this capability, and frankly, we've been pretty overwhelmed by the response since we announced this a couple of months ago, I think it was. I've been blown away at the number of customers who have reached out to us who are excited and interested in taking advantage of this Teamcenter connector. Autodesk is a major solution provider for the AEC and manufacturing markets, and we're working closely with Autodesk to deliver new levels of interoperability. The most significant announcement is Reflect, which you saw yesterday in the keynote, which includes tools to connect BIM models from Revit directly into the Reflect server and to flow through directly into Unity applications. And Shop Architects demonstrated the capabilities of Reflect. Reflect is also interesting for manufacturing customers, because one common thing about all manufacturing customers is they manufacture things, and they manufacture things in factories. Those factories are constantly being modified. I like to refer to a factory as a building that is constantly under construction. So the ability to use Reflect in manufacturing is highly relevant to you. If you're interested, I would encourage you to attend the Reflect presentation at 11 o'clock this morning and learn more about that. We've also worked together with Autodesk, and we've partnered with Pixee's to deliver interoperability with VRED. Using Pixee's now, it's possible to take a VRED scene, export it into Unity, preserving geometry, variants, animations, and much more. So that, again, it just gets to this overall theme of making things easier for you. Nvidia. So we were working closely with Nvidia on many fronts, one of which has, of course, is the area of ray tracing. We're continuing to deepen and broaden that relationship. And I think you'll be excited to see what we're going to be delivering on that over the next, in the near future. Of course, I can't talk about partnerships without Pixee's. Since we announced our partnership with Pixee's about 18 months ago, we've continued working very closely to deliver ever-increasing levels of functionality and integration. Our partnership has yielded products which greatly simplify the process of bringing your data from nearly any source into Unity, and optimizing that data often can be done completely automatically. Our customers learn from once customers learn what Pixee's is really capable of, they're really frequently amazed at how much time it saves them. I've literally had a customer tell me that they took a process that used to take them a few weeks, and they took it down to a few minutes to be able to produce visualization data for a fairly complex industrial product. And it's not only for the initial import of data, but it's also the ability to further optimize the models for performance and quality once they're inside Unity. The other thing to keep in mind with Pixees is it's not just for CAD data. Pixee supports a very wide range of data, and what we found with customers that are working with purely polygonal data, it's not even coming from CAD in the first place, is that some of the new optimization algorithms in Pixees enable them to optimize that data inside Unity. So frankly, it's even valuable for people outside of industry. So again, if you're interested in Pixees, there's a presentation on Thursday at 3 p.m., and I would encourage you to go learn more about what's new. There are some exciting new capabilities coming out in Pixees in the next release coming very soon, and have an opportunity to chat with the Pixees guys after the presentation. And a recent addition to Unity's Verified Solutions Partner Program is Unitl 40, that's based in the Netherlands. Unitl 40 has a product called Perspective, which is a solution for developing digital twins in Unity. I've said before that using Unity, you can bring your designs to life. Well, Perspective lets you really do that. So with Perspective, you can integrate with external formats and systems, ranging from functional mockup unit definitions, to Simulink models, to physical control units, to emulations of control units, and to bring all of those behaviors and controls together within a system. So you can literally develop a digital twin of a system, you can run through how that operates, you can put a human in the loop and understand human-machine interactions with actual control systems for machines that have not been built yet, which is pretty amazing, frankly, when you think about it. And the really cool thing about that is a lot of companies talk about the ability to deliver digital twins, but typically when they do so, they talk about doing it entirely on their own platform. But the reality is, you're developing CAD models in a variety of different systems and formats. You're developing control systems using different solutions from different vendors. And you need to bring those all together. And especially when you're talking about systems of systems, two machines working together, you know, there is no homogeneous solution out there today. And what's amazing about Perspective is it allows you to bring together these solutions from different places, bringing them to one model, integrate it all together, and, okay, I'm oversimplifying things here, flipping the switch and bringing it to life. But really, the power is incredible. And it's not only useful for machinery, there are applications in AEC and infrastructure as well. So we think this is a really powerful and exciting capability. But it's not all about partnerships. I want to recognize what we've done with partners, but at Unity, we've also been hard at work forging new solutions to meet your needs. We're excited about the work that we're doing, so now let's turn our attention to the future, starting with the immediate future. So I'll spend a minute discussing how we're delivering our new solutions, and then I'm going to hand things over to Oliver, because I'm sure you're pretty tired of listening to me talk, who's going to go through some more detail on the solutions themselves. So we're pleased to announce Unity Enterprise for Product Lifecycle, which contains solutions specifically targeted to the needs of manufacturing customers. In addition to Unity Pro, we're including the Pixees plugin to provide CAD import and in-editor optimization of any Unity model. We've also included material importers for both AXF and XTeX, and we've added 2 new solution toolkits, one for designing human-machine interfaces, and the other for immersive collaboration. Some of you may have seen our webinar just a couple of weeks ago on the Immersive Collaboration Toolkit, and that is, first of all, you can see a demonstration of that on the exhibit floor, so I'd encourage you to go talk to Kieran or any of the evangelists about that. And that's included in the product lifecycle product. And we'll talk a little bit more about the solution toolkits in a minute, but the value doesn't end there. We're really planning on adding more value to Unity Enterprise, both by increasing and continuing to mature the functionality of the tools that you see included there, and we will be adding new functionality in the future as well. And I'm looking forward to adding some new capabilities actually in the fairly near future. So you can look at this as our way of packaging the solutions that are uniquely needed for manufacturing customers, that aren't really of interest to gaming customers, but that specifically serve your needs, and then we can tailor the functionality we deliver to you. So we're going to continue to build on this over time. But it's not just about product. It's also about making you successful using the product. Because after all, when you succeed using Unity, we succeed with you using Unity. It's really, that's how we work together. So the other thing that we're doing is we're adding a new tier of support offerings. Those of you who have integrated success support are thrilled with it. You love it. But what we've also heard is that customers with smaller to mid-size Unity deployments can't always justify full ISS. That's why we've launched 2 new support offerings. There's industry starter support and industry managed support. These per-seat offerings provide the extra support you need, but at a price point that allows you to start smaller and then grow and scale as your use of Unity grows. So this is something that we've already talked to a couple of customers about it. We've gotten great feedback on it, and we're really excited about this. So as an extra incentive, when you purchase one of these support offerings, together with training credits and Unity Enterprise for Product Lifecycle, we essentially provide savings that provide you even more value. So it's really a pretty, I'm really happy about this because it helps you succeed. And it's ultimately something that is, I believe, an offering that really resonates with what we've heard from you, and it's an example of us listening to your feedback. So among the many training options that are available using these training credits are training modules for the industrial toolkits we're launching, HMI and Immersive Collaboration. On that note, talking about toolkits, I'd like to hand the presentation over to Oliver, who's now going to talk about these toolkits and even more amazing technology coming from Unity. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. So with Toolkits, we will provide you with ready-to-use building blocks for your industrial use cases. You can focus on your assets, unique features, and integrations while we lay out the foundation. So we maintain and improve these toolkits inside Unity's development lifecycle so they stay up to date. So this helps you to follow Unity's newest releases to get all of our new features and improvements from our platform. You can extend and modify all these toolkits to your needs, whether you already have developed your own Unity components or you want to connect them with other business systems. The toolkits will come with ready-to-use reference implementation and also with optimized authoring workflows. A common use case is collaboration in VR. For example, to review 3D design or engineering data. This scenario is not only interesting locally in the same room or facility, but also for teams across the globe. The Immersive Collaboration Toolkit builds a solid foundation to create these multi-user design review applications. Together with the Pixee's CAD data import, you have a powerful toolset to collaborate on your data in a virtual room. Features like annotations, slicing, or voice chat allow detailed discussions around your model. As Ed already said in a recent webinar about 2 weeks ago, we introduced this Immersive Collaboration Toolkit, and you can check it out at the booth. And we also showed it extensibility, so you can fit it to your needs. And you can also see the recording on YouTube, and please get in touch with us to check it out and to give us feedback on this. For human-machine interfaces, or short HMI, Unity is already used in many companies. So in the design process, Unity helps to prototype and iterate on user experiences. This success has its roots in Unity's rapid creation workflows, both in 2D and in 3D, and the multi-platform support to reach most mobile devices. But now we want to make it even simpler for you to prototype HMIs for anyone. And this is by providing a starter project with common modules, so you can create your own vision with individual styles and content, like in these examples, 2 different HMIs with the same toolkit. Ed was already talking about high-end graphics, and especially with our high-definition render pipeline. But oftentimes, you also want to target lower-powered mobile devices. And with render streaming, developed by our Unity Japan team, you can stream your Unity app directly from a server to any browser on many devices, including phones and tablets. So you can have the best graphics from HDRP without compromises while reaching a large amount of potential customers. Let me show you a video about render streaming now. This render streaming technology is available through the package manager today, so it just came in last night. Before it was on GitHub, but now it's directly in the package manager, so please check it out and give it a try, both on your local server, local hardware, or maybe on the cloud. The other toolkits I've shown are contained in our bundle and Unity Enterprise for Product Lifecycle, which Ed described earlier, and this is shipping very soon. And now I want to give you like a glimpse of what we are working on right now. One thing is the product configurator toolkit. Oftentimes you want to present multiple variants of your data to iterate on different design alternatives during the development or to offer the full product line inside a sales configurator. The product configurator toolkit provides a full set of workflows and tools for you to build these product visualizations. So it helps you create and maintain all your variant sets. It has integration points to connect to your existing business systems, like rule engines or pricing information. And the reference implementation we are shipping with it can be your direct solution, for example, for internal presentation, for example, in the design studio, or can also be the base for you to create your own individual sales configurator. Let me show you a short teaser video about the product configurator toolkit. As shown in this teaser, the product configurator toolkit has an end-to-end workflow, so starting from data prep to the final runtime application. The data model and tools are designed to support two scenarios. One is starting from raw data, like CAD, and the other is to reuse existing models from your virtual garage that you already have with custom importers. You can set up interactions directly in 3D and benefit from our advanced staging workflows, for example, to support for better HDRI environments, to create photorealistic interactive experiences. The solution also automatically generates a customizable runtime user interface that you can directly use. We talked about render streaming already, and to bring such a high-end car configurator to any device with the best quality. And Ed will now show you a project, or tell you about a project we're working on together with our friends at Google Cloud that are sitting here. So,
all right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Oliver. So another project that we're working on is providing cloud streaming. We've chosen Google Kubernetes Engine, GKE for short, as the platform for this development, and we're excited about the potential. We're leveraging Unity's HDRP support for Vulkan on Linux to deliver the best possible performance and quality. We're using GKE to stream multiple containerized sessions using a single GPU, which promises to provide a very cost-competitive solution, especially for use cases that involve intermittent streaming demand. That's perfect for product configurators, since customer sessions tend to be relatively lengthy, but also relatively intermittent compared to something like game streaming, which is constantly interactive. Pairing this with techniques such as WebGL for dynamic content provides another way to optimize trade-offs between cost and quality to meet your specific needs. This combination of HDRP, Vulkan, Linux, a WebGL option, and being able to run on GKE really promises to deliver exactly the solution you need for streaming. Our objective is to give you the ability to choose multiple levels of quality and multiple levels of interactivity to dial in exactly the right experience that you want to deliver for your customer between the level of immersion and meeting your cost targets. So we're super excited about this. We actually have 3 proofs of concept with major global OEMs today. And we don't have permission to show you those proofs of concept, so I'm not going to show you any videos. But suffice it to say that what we've demonstrated when we've shown to customers has been really impressive. If you are interested, we can discuss with us. We put our email addresses up here. Reach out to us, and we can arrange a private demonstration of this streaming technology on GKE for you. So again, we really want to thank the guys at Google here. They've done amazing work in delivering this. But we aren't stopping there. We're going to continue to develop all the solutions we've shown you and so far, and we're going to continue to mature those. I'm especially really excited about the product configurator toolkit. I mean, there's just, the workflow there is just beyond anything I've ever seen in the industry, and the feedback we've had from customers so far who've seen it, and it has been really, really powerful. But we're going to continue to build on top of this as well. And so at this point, I'm no longer going to talk about products, I'm going to talk about themes. So the first theme is accessibility. So customers in industry have an incredibly diverse set of skills and backgrounds. Some of you are developers, some are artists, others are training specialists, engineers, designers, or marketers. The one thing that most of you have in common is a need to use Unity without being expert Unity developers. And certainly the people who are expert Unity developers, we want to continue to support you with more and more capabilities. Toolkits are a great example. The toolkits are available with C# code that you can extend and modify as you wish to meet your specific needs. You can take them and you can build on them. But that's not how everybody uses Unity. So that's why we'll be investing in tools to enable you to be successful in Unity without deep coding expertise. The product configurator toolkit is a perfect example of that. That's targeting people who are experts in data preparation or in developing variant sets, but aren't necessarily Unity developers. We'll also continue to work with third parties who have specific industry expertise to deliver the solutions you need, because not all of the solutions come from us. Some of the solutions come from our partners. On the other end of the spectrum, we're also addressing your need to take on more complex projects that span multiple domains. Our vision for Unity is to create real-time experiences to simulate and integrate with everything, from individual users and teams, to simulation software systems, to AI bots, to control systems, and to networked experiences. Whether you're developing real-time experiences for people or real-time simulations to train machine learning algorithms, we think Unity should be the first and best choice as your development platform. And if you need something that runs in real time, that connects the virtual world with the real world and puts humans in the middle of the loop, we think that this is what we want to deliver these capabilities to you. So this is a very important theme for us. And of course, we're never going to stop focusing on amazing visual quality. After all, we've heard loud and clear that this is what you want, and we're committed to deliver on your needs. The only thing that's going to change is we're going to make it easier for you to deliver better visual quality by default. Because you've told us that's what you want, we're committed to deliver on your needs. So on behalf of the rapidly expanding Unity team from industry and all of the passionate professionals throughout Unity on whose shoulders the industry team stands. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn about the exciting new things we have in store for you. Be sure to check the schedule for a strong lineup of presentations by Unity industry customers and partners, and some Unity people as well, over the next 3 days. I can't list them all, but there are some really interesting examples and technologies in these presentations, and you don't want to miss it. So we want to thank you. We've got about 4 minutes and 47 seconds for questions. So there are a couple of roving mics in the audience, and we can more or less see you raise your hands. So if you've got some questions, now's the perfect time to ask them. Anyone?
There's a question. There's a microphone up there.
Yeah, there's a.
Sorry.
The microphone is right up there.
I can also repeat the question if you want. So. Okay.
Sorry, they're not roving microphones. You have to rove.
I have one question. You showed this HMI toolkit, and I want to ask if these elements have a stable API that you can create them via code, or are they just configurable using the editor and inspector? Because the Unity stock UI is a bit cumbersome in that regard.
Yes, so in the end right now it's prefabs and custom scripts, and you can instantiate these prefabs on runtime, of course, but it's still made on our old UI system right now. We are currently reworking it to on top of UI elements, which are much more customizable and also work both for editor tools and the runtime, and these will be much better to also spin up from code.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Hello. You recently announced on your blog that you are adding web RTC-based streaming to Unity. I would like to know how that relates to what you just showed now, and also this thing you showed with Google Cloud Engine. Is this only for Google Cloud Engine, or is this something you can move to customer premises?
So the render streaming part in my presentation, the first video about the streaming with the 3 devices to a browser, this is the WebRTC library, and this can be used on any server. You can put it on your own local server, on your on-premise hardware, or on any cloud provider. Currently it's limited to Windows Server and Nvidia GPU because it's using GPU encoding and others. But we are working on to also support other OSs and GPUs. And this is already available through the package manager, so you can directly download it right now and play around with it. You can also use it to stream from a local PC to an iPad, for example. And the Google Cloud project is more like a reference how to achieve best quality with a solid frame rate, and to also get the costs of streaming down. So it's 2 components in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Do you have any plans also to include data from factory control systems like Siemens and others?
Well, that actually is one of the capabilities for Perspective from Unitl 40, is the ability to integrate in with control systems from PLC and other control systems manufacturers. And there is a presentation from Unitl 40, and I can't remember off the top of my head exactly which control systems they currently support. They do currently support multiple ones. I believe Siemens is one of them. And they can certainly, I would encourage you to attend their presentation and ask them directly. So the short answer is yes, it's available today. Yes?
So hi Ed and Oliver, thank you very much. I've got a question regarding, I've read something about Unity measured materials and scanned materials. I mean, I can kind of imagine what it is, but I don't know exactly what it is. I've not heard it so far.
Sure, of course, we can answer that. So essentially, there are a couple of different things we're doing. One is in the Unity Enterprise for Product Lifecycle product, we're incorporating importers for both AXF and XTeX materials. AXF is a format from Xwrite, XTeX is a format from Vizu, and the essentially, if you're using those formats, and they're two commonly used formats in industry, you can import them directly into Unity. The base shader support is in Unity Pro. So once you import them into Unity, you can share those models with anybody with any version of Unity, and the visuals will still show up correctly, if you're on an up-to-date version of Unity, of course. For the measured materials library, that's a native materials library that we've provided. We essentially scanned in a whole bunch of materials ourselves. We provided them with a bunch of different variants, and that's available for free. And like I said, it's available both for HDRP and for Universal Render Pipeline, and those are on GitHub. You can Google them. It just shows up, fast and easy. Yes?
Hi. Do you have a price tag for the Unity Enterprise new tier?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have a price tag for?
Yes, we do. And I'm not talking pricing right here this morning because, among other things, it differs whether you're talking dollar or euro or yen. But I think you'll find that it's actually quite competitively priced for the value that you get. We've made it a focus to make it really deliver a lot of value for the price. So what I would encourage you to do, contact a Unity business development person, and we'll absolutely hook you up for that. Yes?
Quick question. Are there any plans for V-Ray materials conversions and Corona materials conversion to make it easy to transfer data and architectural visualization assets from, let's say, 3ds Max into Unity more easily?
We are talking to different of these renderers, and some already are integrated in Unity, like Otoy Octane, for example. They have their own material system that you can import from their rendering. And it's more up to the partners. We have, for example, Substance integration in Unity. And we are talking with all of these, and a lot of them are interested, but I cannot share any details right now.
And I think we've got time for probably 2 more questions, because we're actually 2 minutes over right now. Any other questions? And just 2 more. Okay. It looks like that's all the questions. Thank you very much. So I really appreciate it.